You're rolling.
Rolling. Here we go.
Boom.
Cut. No, not cut. Start.
Take one. Take two.
One. Begin.
You gotta make sure. No. Smoothie seeds.
Smoothie seeds?
We should have a smoothie.
Yeah. She made a good smoothie. All the stuff. Raspberries and blueberries and pineapples and kiwis and stuff.
All the things.
It was very seedy. Very, very seedy.
Hello. Welcome to the YouTube channel. We've got our Cowboy Max mugs going on.
Yeah, we do. Check that out.
This says I love a goat in New Mexico.
And this says Galloping Goat Ranch, Rio Ranch in New Mexico. What?
What do you have in there?
That's a little Cowboy Max coffee.
Where can you get Cowboy Max coffee?
Well, you can go to cowboymaxcoffee.com. That's where you can go to get some of the greatest coffee in the history of the universe. Or cowboymaxmerch.com for the great merch.
Lovely. So when you work on a ranch and all that stuff, you don't really have the most amazing setup to film videos. So sometimes you have to film in the chicken pen.
You do. So we've got the ambiance of chicken serenading, right? Chicken serenades. Hi. Hello, chickens.
So we are gonna get into it. All right. We put out a TikTok video the other day asking what kind of questions you wanted us to answer. This is gonna be there's a ton of questions asking for an all Chew Crew video, like Nick, Lucas, Claire, Riley. Riley's gone now, but and so we're gonna do that when everyone's here. So I'm gonna save those questions for a different time. All right. So we're just gonna start off with the first question. All right.
I don't know these questions.
He doesn't know. I'm just hitting him with it.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on here.
What made you want to start Galloping Goat Ranch?
Well, that's a good question. Well, originally it was started as a nonprofit. It was started as Galloping Grace Youth Ranch, and the wifey and I started that as an opportunity for kids to get out of town, out of Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, all of those areas, out of the city, and kind of get a taste for country life, farm life, ranch life. We had a lot of horses, so they got to ride horses and do that kind of thing. And it was a lot of fun. And we did that for many, many years. Did summer camps. We did 4-H programs and was awesome. And we just got to a point where we kind of wanted to step out of the nonprofit world, and so we closed that down. But so when we closed it down, we maintained obviously the ranch, our pumpkin patch, all of those things, and we started up a grazing program thanks to Claire.
Don't get into that yet. Don't get into that yet.
That's for later.
That's
for later. But anyway, so we just renamed everything Galloping Goat Ranch.
They're perfect.
There you go.
Okay, let's see. So while we're on the topic of coffee, Carmen G asks, please make a video describing how each of the coffees got their name.
That's interesting. Coffee. So Cowboy Max Coffee, of course. Yeah, Cowboy Max Coffee.
Cowboy Max Coffee. CowboyMaxCoffee.com.
So we have three main blends. We have a light, a medium, and a dark roast. And so the light roast is Sandia Sunrise, the medium roast is Grumpy Goose, and the dark roast is Blowtorch. So those three blends, they got their names because when COVID hit, you guys told me to get on the TikTok.
Yep.
And so I did. I didn't even know what TikTok was.
He was resistant.
I was.
He was like, no, I don't think I want to do that. And we're like, just do it. It's a fun outlet, creativity. And we're like, you'd be so fun on it. And he had some pushback.
Yeah,
but
I did.
Now we can see that.
But we like it. We love it now. I love it now. Anyway, so the Sandia Sunrise is named after watching the sun come up over the Sandia Mountains every morning with my live stream that I do almost every weekday with my crazy crew folks from TikTok. And so the light roast, we named Sandia Sunrise for that. Then we had the Grumpy Goose, which is our medium blend, our #1 seller. Grumpy Goose was named after a goose that we named him Grumpy because he was always grumpy. He did not like Claire.
No,
he was always going after Claire.
We butted heads.
Yeah, and he was just kind of grumpy about everything.
Yeah, and I'm not proud to say that I was at the same time scared of him.
You were.
He had something that really just.
He really did not like Claire.
Yeah,
at all.
and he was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you were nice. I don't think you were nice to him.
That is not even true at all.
He wasn't grumpy with me.
He really bit the mouth that fed him. He really did. He really did. Is that the same? Bit the mouth?
Don't bite the mouth.
Bit the hand?
He bit the mouth that feeds him. Here, little goose. Here's some food.
I did not, Mama Bird, Grumpy Goose. Bit the hand that fed him.
I don't think you should ever mouth feed a goose. Did you do something weird while I wasn't around? Here, little
I
goose.
just didn't know the saying.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Claire is really good with sayings.
You wouldn't even notice if I didn't bring it up.
Yep, but now.
One hand here at the.
Yeah.
In one.
You know that saying too?
You gotta get.
Anyway. So Grumpy Goose, Grumpy had an amazing story. Grumpy was like he adopted some baby chicks. He looked over Mrs. Duck, and he just had a really great story. And unfortunately, Grumpy met his fate one night. And the way the story goes is Grumpy was protecting Mrs. Duck and the baby chicks, and he sacrificed himself in a fight, we think, with a pack of coyotes. But anyway,
he went out swinging.
He did. So in honor of Grumpy Goose, we named our medium blend coffee after him, and then our blowtorch was fiery and good. But I used to keep my coffee hot during our live streams with Torchy. We called my blowtorch is called Torchy, and so I named it after Torchy. We named blowtorch. And then the other one we didn't talk about, one of our other main blends, is our decaf blend. And our decaf blend is called Hank's Decaf. And
trying to make us shed a tear.
Yeah. Hank was our dog of our golden retriever, had for 14 years. And old Hank he's been our buddy, and he was forever. And
best dog ever.
Yeah, best dog ever.
I know everyone says that their dog is the best dog ever.
But ours was.
But ours was actually the best dog ever.
So Hank
Maybe I'll try to insert a picture of him.
Yeah, Hank was the best. Anyway, Hank, we had to go ahead and put Hank down because he just got so old and sick and cancerous and all of those things. So we miss old Hank, so we named the coffee after the decaf after Hank. And then we have Curly's Coffee of the Month Club. Curly travels the world, the universe, looking for the greatest coffee in the history of the universe. Curly's just a goat that I had real struggles with trying to deliver him, keep him alive, keep his mom alive. And he was our buddy. Claire and Nick and I helped nurse that guy back to health. He had very deformed legs.
Straighten him out, massaging him.
We did physical therapy with him. We put braces on him for a long time. And Curly's kind of become one of our ranch mascots. And so Curly's Coffee of the Month Club, named after Curly. Thanks, Carmen.
So our next question, and I think that this question made me chuckle. It's from Susie Q Creations, and it says, welcome back, thank you so much. But it says, I'd like to know how y'all got started in the goat grabbing business.
The goat grabbing business?
Goat grabbing.
Man, well,
I thought that was pretty accurate to what we were doing at the time when we were building our herd. We're just grabbing. We're just getting more.
We mouth feed geese.
No, we do not. We
grab goats.
Someone is going to use that against us.
It really is.
We do not
There'll be a clip. Well, we got into the goat grabbing, or maybe they meant goat grazing business.
Yeah, but I just thought it was funny, because I just imagined when we were building our herd, we're just getting them from here.
Yeah, we were.
Here.
We went out on this.
Come, welcome in.
With mass grab of goats.
Mass grab.
Claire, Claire basically was like, we're driving down the road. We've got a trailer. She's like, let's get those goats as we drive by somebody's place.
I was like, we have a trailer. I want all the goats.
Yeah.
If I have a trailer, protect your goats because I want them.
Yeah.
You know?
So we did. We went all over the state of New Mexico, grabbed up a whole lot of goats. But I think that you meant, how did we get into the goat grazing business? And it's really Claire's fault and Nick's fault because during COVID, we couldn't have our pumpkin patch, which we normally do because the state shut down, couldn't have mass gatherings. And I told them, we got to sell all the goats. We can't afford to feed them. And then they started selling goats. And then they're like, hey, maybe we should start renting these goats out for weed control.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, let's do it.
The Lord provided a way because we were like, what are we going to do? Because we have all these goats pumpkin patch isn't happening. Like, we gotta figure something out.
True.
And we loved the goats. We didn't want to see all the goats go. And at the time we started with, what do we think, like 35, 40 goats? Well, by the time
We had more, by the time you'd sold some.
by the time we had sold some, we were at like 30, right?
Yeah, I think we had
30,
35 left.
35.
And so then they said, let's do this. So
We had some hog panels, we call them,
Yeah.
from like the pumpkin patch, and we were like, let's get started. Let's put it out there. Let's see what we get. He posted it on Facebook, and like he posted it, and then the next day we had like jobs lined up for the next weeks.
Yeah.
It was amazing and so great. And so then we just started going to people's backyards, and we learned a lot of hard things. Like, it
Yeah.
costs a lot to do this.
Yeah.
And, you know, and there's trial and there's a lot of error, like a lot of error.
A lot
like,
of error.
We
yeah.
can't even stress how much error there
A
is.
lot of error. A lot of error.
But we are at a place where we're kind of running it smoothly.
I think it's kind of rocking now.
You're running it smoothly, and then you have a hiccup, and you're like, oh no. But you're just learning. But we started in people's backyards, and we did a lot of residential jobs, and we just kept going with that, and we met a lot of cool people, and it was really awesome because during COVID, nobody was able to do anything, go places, and so it was like a really cool outlet to see people, still safely, but to be able to bring like that joy to people. People just sat outside and watched the goats graze their backyards with their coffee in their hands. It was so fun. So that was a really, really cool aspect of when we started, is just getting to know so many people and through like a really hard time.
Yeah, it was a neat deal.
Yeah.
Very neat.
Yep. So let's see. Oh, well then, how did we get started into what we're doing now with the Bosque?
So during all of that, through some of our contacts, they called and talked to a local forest manager for Bernalillo County, and he got a hold of me and said, hey, we think we'd like to use the goats in our forest, our bosque, that's the forest along the river, to do some invasive vegetation management. And we're like, well, okay. And so he asked me, will they eat this? Will they eat that? I'm like, I don't know. But I said, we can try.
We can see.
Yeah, we can see what they'll do. I think they'll eat it, but I don't know.
Trial and error.
Yeah. So we gathered up our 35 goats with those portable panels. And I said, hey, we'll just line it out. Let's figure out all these different things you want us to eat. And we did a 4-day trial period where one day we ate salt cedar, one day we ate Russian olives, one day we ate Siberian elm, one day we ate Ravenna grass, and all the things, and they liked it.
Yeah.
They ate everything, and the forest manager was like, cool.
We love this.
And so we got set up as a state contractor, and now we've got all the work we can handle doing forest management with the goats.
Oh, they dumped over my smoothie cup.
Did they?
And they're eating my smoothie.
There, yeah. Well,
That's all right. I kind of knew that would happen. I should have planned better.
that's what happens with chickens.
Yep. So now we're in the Bosque. We're in a whole bunch of different places,
Yep.
and we're having so much fun.
Yeah, it's really
All
cool.
right. So, next question. It says, this is from Mother of Unicorns. We kind of touched on this a tiny bit, but it says, did you create your herd of the grazing business, or create and expand from the business of the few goats you already had? So we kind of touched on this a little bit. This is the grabbing goats.
This is the grabbing
Grabbing
goats.
goats.
We did a little bit of both, but primarily we grabbed a lot of goats.
Yeah, so when we started in like the residential homes, we were with our pack of 35.
Yeah.
And so our herd of 35. And so when we did get that call about the forest, or like the Bosque and stuff, we were like, that would take us about 1,000,000 years to eat all of, because we have 30 goats.
Yeah, and our contract is like 100 acres a year type of thing.
So we're like, that would be a while. So we decided to grab some goats.
We grabbed some goats. So we took off. Claire and Nick started looking through all of the Craigslist and calling people and finding goats. And so we kind of went around the state on a big trip, and we gathered up about at that time 200. How many did we get? I don't remember.
I feel like it was like,
It was close to 200 goats. It was somewhere around there is what we.
I think we got 90 from one,
Mhm.
and like 60 from another.
I don't know. And then we just
It's
went,
hard to
and
say.
then little pieces here and there, little places. We'd pick up 3 or 4 and 15 or 20, and so we did that. And then over the last couple of years, we've raised some of our own, and so we have a herd. We go out every day with 220 goats right now. And there's a couple sheep sprinkled in there. You've got Claire and Nick have their own little.
Well, when we also started, we were like, let's get some sheep too, because goats are called browsers and sheep are called grazers. And what that means is goats are like chest up browser, so they do like trees and all that stuff. And sheep were like supposed to be super good for like grass and really taking that down. They both do both, but the sheep are just not, our sheep at least, are just not as effective.
They like to sleep a lot on the job.
And they also like to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when we got them, it was hard to get them in the like we were like running because they had never been like handled or anything before. So which we didn't really know that going into it. So
trial and error.
Trial and error. Yep. Okay, let's see here. Next question says, have you always been a farmer, or is there anything you wanted? This is from Turtle B20. Have you always been a farmer, or is there anything you want to do besides farming? Ranching, you know.
Yeah, my whole life, in some fashion, I've been involved in more ranching than farming, because Dad was a home builder by trade, but always had a farm or a ranch, and we always had livestock, horses, cattle, all of those things. So I've grown up with it, and I've always loved it, and it was something I really wanted to get my kids involved with. So that was part of the reason that we got into a lot of it. And anything else I'd want to be doing? Not really. This is more than enough.
So, but prior to this, you did go to the Air Force Academy, and what were you planning on doing?
So out of high school, I went to college, and I went more because I played football in college. And I went to the Air Force Academy, and I'm like, well, okay, what do I do?
Why not?
Yeah, I'll go there. They want me to play football. That was a fantastic deal. But then I couldn't fly because I have migraine headaches, I had a heart defect, and all of those things. I'm like, well, I don't know what to do if I'm not going to fly in the Air Force. So I left there. But then I went into business with my dad and my brothers, building houses for a good long while. And then just wanted to get more back into agriculture, and that's how we kind of weaved our way into all of this.
Lovely.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. So this says, I'd love to know the background of the farm, which we kind of got into a little bit, but it says history of the family.
History of the family. Well,
like,
that's
somebody also
back
asked
in 1492. Oh.
No, history of our family. Like, how many kids do you have?
I have 4 kids. And
okay,
so,
you get
yeah.
a bonus if you can name all of our birthdays.
Ooh.
Bonus.
I might be able to do this.
Really?
I don't know. Gosh, we have to go back to Garrett again. Okay, so Brooke is the oldest, and she is June 18th.
Mm-hmm. Of what year?
99.
Nice.
Ooh. And then Garrett is, so he's July. Oh man.
This always gets you.
This one's hard for me.
This one always gets you.
July 6th.
Yep.
Yes, 2000.
Nice.
July 6th, 2000. You got a birthday coming up. You're May 14th of 2000.
2020.
Not 20.
2020. I'm not
2022. You're just a youngin'. 2002.
Nice.
I'm rocking.
All right, Grant.
And then we go to Grant, and Grant is October 5th of 2005.
Nice.
Look at me.
Wow.
I get all the bonuses. That's epic.
He hasn't been able to get that at some points in his life.
The years you all were born, I really got lucky with all that.
I hit you with that.
And then getting Garrett's right is a big bonus for me. So that's a tough one for me.
So used to be Murphy asked how many children, but it
now
says
I have 2 sons-in-law, and now I have a grandson.
He does have a grandson.
Yeah.
Can you name his birthday?
January 25th of
Nice.
2023.
Nice.
Look at that.
So,
I'm good.
but it also says, is everyone involved in the farm? Like all the kids?
Well, Claire and my son-in-law Nick are big time involved on a day-to-day basis. Grant is in and out.
Slowly getting
involved. He's
involved.
going to become kind of a summertime shoe crew, but he does a lot of the chores around the house. Garrett and Brooke are out of the house. Brooke is married to Josh, my other son-in-law. She's up in Colorado, and she runs her own grazing crew. She has her own herd of goats that she does grazing up there. And then Garrett's off in college, and so Garrett gets involved when he's home, but Claire is pretty much the full-time of all of them.
But now I'm kind of not as much as I was.
You're so
now
lazy
I have a baby.
Now. Yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay, this one is from Shelby Gal 13. We just lost one of our goats is what she said. I'm so sorry about that. But she said he was 12 and a half. How old is your oldest goat?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a question more for you. But we have one that we think, Bruce and Ian Ben Logan are probably our two old guys, right?
And I do think that Bruce beats him. I do think Bruce is older.
So I don't even know. I mean, with Bruce would have been, he's got to be 14-ish.
I think he's
right?
like 14. Thank you so much.
My dad actually, that was my dad's baby goat, and we had him at our cattle ranch. He had him at his house, and then he passed on to my brother, and then my brother moved out of the state, and he passed Bruce on to us, and so I think Bruce is the oldest guy.
I do, and one of the ways that you tell that how old a goat is by their teeth, and and Bruce has no teeth.
Yeah, he's toothless.
He's toothless.
He's toothless. At
Yep.
least the front teeth.
Okay, which is the hardest animal on the ranch to care for?
The hardest animal on the ranch to care for? Well,
depends on which way you think.
I mean, from a monetary standpoint, for sure, Bill and Ted, because they're giant Holstein steers and they eat so much. The hardest to care for, though, I don't know. They're all relatively easy and relatively hard all at the same time, don't you think?
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, the pigs are somewhat easy to take care of, but when you got to do stuff with pigs, it's hard.
Yeah.
Got to trim their hooves and trim their teeth, and that's hard. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I think the most touchy animal is the mini horses.
Yeah.
Because you worry about colic and things like that. They're not hard, but they do. It is more of
if something goes bad, it goes bad.
Yeah. If it's gonna go bad with the mini horse, it's gonna go really bad. If a goat is not feeling well, you can usually give it some vitamins, some drench, and it can be better soon. But with a horse, it's if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'm preparing for taxes right now, and I'm looking back at my vet bills and
from
that
Isaac.
Isaac that's a big bill. Big bill.
Yep.
So
yeah.
it costs more to keep him. It costs more than it did to buy him, basically, to make sure he came out of colic. So anyway.
But we're really happy he's good now.
Oh, yeah,
Don't be worried.
absolutely.
Kay Kurz asks, are there any animals on the ranch that you've had before but would not have again? I think you said you wouldn't do full-size horses again. That's what she said.
Well, yeah, I don't have any reason to have full-size horses. I don't ride anymore. I never did. I like to ride for pleasure, but also if I have a horse and I'm paying for a horse and all the feed that goes and all the care that goes into a horse, because they're expensive, I want to have a purpose for that horse. So when we had the cattle ranch and we were working cattle all the time, it made sense. But it did not make sense for me. And when we had the nonprofit and we were able to work with kids, that made sense. But then, so unless one day we were to get a cattle ranch again, I don't think I'll have full-size horses again. And I'm not going to have full-size cattle again unless we have an actual ranch for that. So there you go.
Yep. Okay, Linda's here says, which is the hardest? Oh wait, I just did that one. I'm so sorry. I meant to do Rachel TikTok asks, what is your least favorite chore?
My least favorite chore? Oh gosh. Well, there's a lot of them. I don't like cleaning pens. I don't like cleaning the chicken coop. I don't like watering.
Really?
I don't like giving the animals water.
Oh, I love that job.
Here's the reason why, because watering, because we know this, because I've done it so many times. Like, you can't just put the water in there and take off and go do, like, I got to stand there for these tanks to fill up all the time. And I feel like I'm wasting so much time. It's just an anxiety thing that I get.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, I love for the animals to have water. I don't like doing it.
Yeah.
I don't mind feeding so much, but I don't like to do waters.
I love to do waters because I love to scrub them and clean them.
Yes, you do.
I don't like to do waters in the winter. I'll say that. Because
I like to break ice.
you have to break ice. That's fine, whatever. But the hose, like, you have to fill it up and then drain the hose.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the hose doesn't get all the way drained and then it's frozen and then you have to bucket. It's just, I will say that. And then sometimes your faucet is frozen.
Yes, exactly. I guess, but on a very normal basis, I don't like to clean pins at all. It's no fun.
Yeah, I think it's satisfying though.
Yeah. Well, you should get out here and do it more often then.
All right. Okay, let's see. Ooh, well, we're in here right now, but it says Jean Etienne. Sorry if I'm said. Did Callie Max design the chicken coop exclusively?
I did. This building that's behind us was not originally intended to be a chicken coop. It was actually our tack room when
having
we.
a stare off.
I know.
Sorry.
Oh, wow.
They're having a stare off.
We are, really.
Let me take a picture of that so I can show them what we're looking at right now. It's really funny. I'm sorry. Continue.
And so it originally was our tack room, where we kept all of our saddles and bridles and everything for the horses when we had our horse program. And then when we closed down our horse program, it turned into storage, and basically turned into a mouse house. It was just infested with mice. And then I was gonna tear it down or burn it down. I was so tired of it. And the wife was like, what about making it into a hen house? And I'm like, okay, I can repurpose that and turn it into a hen house. So the interior design is some of Mom's ideas. Like, she wanted some things, and I'm like, okay. And then I put the practicality to it, and how we could do it and the space we had available. So I just designed it all in my head and built it out on the fly.
And that's something about, he has a very, his brain works so differently than mine. Like, he's like, we're gonna build this and that, and then he tells me what we're gonna do, and I'm like, how is that gonna look like a chicken coop? Like, it doesn't make sense in my head. And then the more we do it, I'm like, oh wow. So I've learned to just be like, okay, because I'm like, I have no idea what,
Trust
like
the process.
when we're building all those fences and stuff, and we're putting in the concrete and all that, I'm like, what are we doing? I'm so confused. And the big raised thing, I'm like, so, well, how long did the chicken coop take us to build?
Oh my gosh,
How long was this process?
Well, the hen house, because I couldn't ever I couldn't just start and then just go and get it done, because all other things that happen in life and ranch life and stuff. So I don't know how long it was from the time I started to the time I finished.
I think we did start in 2020.
21, I think.
21.
Yeah, and we finished it in 22. So, I mean, I think all said and done, it took like a year. But if I had just been able to start and not stop until it was done, I probably could have done it in less than a week, or whatever. But because I had to do a lot of remodeling. I had to tear stuff out. I had to clean it out. Then I had to tear stuff out and then redo it. And so, but it was just a process.
It was
a process, but it's nice now.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was really cool to. I thought it was fun. I learned a lot.
Well, and then we did all
all the bracing.
Yeah, all of this stuff out here. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't the best time to buy materials for this coop. This
was expensive. Everything's so expensive.
And it's been repainted quite a bit because we've changed our minds.
So yeah, it was one color, and a different color. Who knows? Anyway.
So it's just been a process, but now we're cooping.
Yep.
All right, so it says, this is perfect. Perfume Queen says, what is your favorite / best animal to work with?
I wonder, is that breed or just a specific animal?
I think animal.
Well, I think
and then you could do breed of goats.
Yeah, I think I've come to love Q the best of all the animals we have.
Oh, I would, yeah, because I wasn't even thinking about considering her
Yeah,
in
right?
it. Yeah.
So Q, our dog, our border collie, is probably the best animal to work with because, I mean, if there's an animal that really is worth her weight in money, worth her weight in gold would be the saying, by the way.
Worth her weight in feeding the mouth that hands her the food
Exactly.
in ear, one out other.
Exactly. It's so
That's
smart.
how it goes.
That's the way it goes. Yeah, Q is definitely earns her keep for sure.
Yes.
I'm all about animals
I'm a big
earning
fan
their
of
keep.
Q because when Nick and I were first doing it, we were on our feet and just on, just feet running with a flag, chasing goats in the Bosque.
Yeah.
And embarrassing ourselves while we were at it.
It was hard.
And, because, like, if the goats get out now, if there's a breakout, it's not a big deal because Q just rounds them back up. But if you think about 2 people and 200 goats, and they get out, and there's miles and miles of a bosque open, it's hard.
Yeah.
And you're just sprinting, like, we got some good workouts in. I'll say that. We got some good workouts in.
Yeah, she was definitely worth the purchase.
Yes. And she's amazing. We love her. She's
so sweet.
Even more than just her ability to do work, she's just awesome.
Yeah.
She's the sweetest, the cutest.
She makes you feel like the most important person in the world.
She really does.
Yeah, you walk out of the room and come back and she's like, oh my goodness, I
She's like, I
missed you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So sweet.
So then why don't we just do what your favorite goat breed is?
I don't know if I have a favorite goat breed. I think I get asked that a lot, and I think I like any goat that is healthy and eats a lot.
Yeah.
Because by them eating a lot and being healthy, that means we have an opportunity to make money with our business. So that works for me. I don't care what breed, I don't care what they look like. I don't care really, I'd rather them be bigger because they eat more.
Yeah.
But if they're smaller and they're healthy and they eat stuff, fantastic. That's my favorite goat breed.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. I would say that our the 2 breeds that we primarily have are War and Spanish. And we got Spanish because everyone was like, they're so much hardier. And I feel like they're pretty equal.
Pretty equal.
But
so far.
I think that I would still like boars better. I feel like they're sturdy.
They look more sturdy.
They look sturdier.
And thicker and hardier. But
yeah, but I mean, I'm growing on, the Spanish are growing on me.
Yeah. The healthy, hungry ones are.
Yep.
They're all healthy.
Well, yeah, they're just, some are just stronger than others.
Yeah, absolutely.
The growth is interesting.
Yeah.
When we got them, there was a lot of little ones, which we didn't expect either. Trial and error.
Yeah. Most all have grown up well. Some are just like, eh.
Yeah, some. When we say healthy, it's like which one is like ooh, like jumping on the trees, and which one's like just chilling.
Right.
All right. So this is our last question, and I think it's funny. Okay, Michelle74 said, also, what are the orange spots we've seen on Max's boots in older videos, and what was their purpose?
Wow.
We're bringing that back.
Boy, we're bringing back the orange boots. Yeah, exactly.
Why did you have orange on your boots?
Well, that was orange duct tape on my boots because when I find a pair of boots that fit well and that are comfortable and I like them, I don't change because it's just, I can't handle it.
She had a lot to say
Thank you,
about that.
I appreciate that. And so I'm like, if I find boots, yeah, if I find boots that I like and jeans that I like, I'm all in, and I'll buy a whole bunch of them. So that particular pair of boots, or that brand of boots at the time, were really good. I loved them. They're really comfortable. They had a seam on them, and the seam would always break, and it would always have a hole in it. And so I'd be walking around, my boots would fill up with sand and rocks and corn or whatever, and it was very tough. So I'm like, well, the only way to fix this is just wrap them in duct tape. And I think when I first started wrapping them, it was around pumpkin patch time. I'm like, well, it's got to be festive. So I found orange duct tape and I wrapped them with orange duct tape. And that was That's how I wore my boots for a long, long time, because I still had more boots of that same brand in the pipeline, and so I would just wrap them, and that's how I keep them together. Now these boots the ones I have now. They don't need duct tape. They don't come apart.
Perfect.
There you go.
So that was our Q&A. If
Fun.
you have any fun questions for us, we're going to be doing these probably every once in a while, and we'll make sure to do one with Nick and Lucas and all of that, because we have a lot of questions regarding those two. So we hope you enjoyed it. Do you have anything you want to say? Any closing words? Any questions? Any questions for them?
Well, just keep giving us more questions and things, because if you can come up with the ideas for me to talk about, it's a lot easier than me coming up with the ideas to talk about. Like, what do you want me to say? I don't know. So yeah, ask me some stuff. Maybe I'll have the answers. Maybe not.
Maybe not. We're learning.
Who knows? Exactly.
Learning as
Trial
you
and
go.
error.
Trial and error. That's going to be the theme of this video. Trial and error and grabbing goats.
And mouth feeding geese.
No.
Don't bite the mouth that feeds you. That's what you need to know, folks. If there's any lesson you can learn from us now,
Don't bite.
don't bite the mouth that feeds you. Bye, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.